guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be playing around with another Kaleidos palette. Another Kaleidos, we never know around here. I say all of them. I've already played around with the Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise, I've played around with the Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green, and I've played around with the Futurism 3 Astro Pink. So if you want to go see any of those three videos, they'll be linked up in the eye for you to go check them out. But today, well, I have two palettes left, alright? I have the Kaleidos 2 Cyber Bronze and the Kaleidos 4 VR Neon. So, I want to go for the neon, okay? I would be lying to you if I said I didn't want to go for the neon. This one's like beautiful red, burgundy, beautiful tones. I'm thinking I can use this tomorrow and actually wake up early for once and do this tomorrow. But today, I want to play with the neon one. So this is the box for the Futurism 4 VR Neon. It looks very different from the others. A lot of them are quite oil slicky or like paint drops. This one is like massive brush strokes, and that does correspond with the packaging. The packaging looks exactly the same. I mean, if you see my other videos, you'll know that I am obsessed with their packaging. It's just so beautiful. It wraps around, it's so sleek. It's so like, it just feels like a piece of artwork in your hands. It's so lovely and heavy and weighty, and it just feels really, really nice. So you open the magnetic door up like this, just like you do with the others, and then you get the mirror on one side and then just the flap that holds it open, and then you get the slip, and this has all the colour names on it. So don't like this, but you know, better than not having. I don't know, actually would I prefer to have no names at all? I'm not sure, but these things annoy me because I have to keep them. Again, I say this in every single video, if you're wondering which way up it goes, if you follow the wording Kaleidos here, you probably can't see it on camera, but it says Kaleidos here, and you just put it over to match the same direction, so it's not upside down, it's this way up. So inside the palette we have this beautiful array of neons. It's just very simple. I feel like it's a very simplified neons. You know, you don't have every single colour there, but you have mostly these orange, reds and yellows. You know, if we took this away, it's mostly orange, red, like orange, red, yellow, pink, that sort of colour palette. But then we've got that pop of green, which kind of goes nicely with the yellow and orange and the gold perhaps. So I feel like even though it's neon, you get quite a few cool looks out of this. Or this would be an amazing complementary palette for something a little bit more neutral. So you could use something neutral and then have a pop of neon on the lower lash line, or a pop of neon in the inner corner, or a pop of neon, you know, especially these two. I don't feel like these two are too neon. Obviously we haven't swatched them yet, so I don't know what they look like, but I feel like these two are really they're like a brilliant pop that you could add all over the lid with just like a little bit of brown smoked in the sort of crease. I love colour personally, so I'm not going to have any struggles using this because I love colour, but for those of you that want a bit of colour or want a neon palette, this might be okay to complement it with another. You know, it doesn't always have to be a full look in a full palette all the time. I am a great believer in that. You can use a palette to complement something else. It's less convenient, but that is a thing. You don't have to have a complete look in every single palette. But today I will be doing a look using all 6 of these shadows like I have been doing in all of my other videos, because I want to show how the palette complements itself, like complements each other. I feel like in a 6-pan shadow palette, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but like in a 6-pan palette, I feel like all the shadows should go together or should create one awesome look if you want it to. Because there's not a great variety, I feel like you should be able to create multiple looks and one amazing look with all of it, and it should all look good. So without further ado, let's get in and swatch this beautifulness. I've been so excited to play with this one. So I'm going to start with this one here, and this is the shade Hologram. So it's this beautiful, almost orangey yellow gold, and I think it has pink reflex. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry if my nails are chipped, by the way. I can't help it. I was supposed to be filming a nail video and I didn't, and I have brow dye underneath them, so they're looking pretty hanging right now. Please ignore it. So this is the shade Hologram. Holy moly, it is beautiful. That is beautiful. You do not have to be a brights lover to love that shade. That is stunning. We then have the next shade in here, which is this beautiful, almost fuchsia pink metallic called Easter Egg. So this is the shade Easter Egg. Holy moly, full pigment. In fact, I've not swatched it very well. There we go. Beautiful. Holy moly. That is gorgeous. Look at that. So there we go. A bright fuchsia pink with pink reflex, tiny little bit of purpley blue there. I think you can just about see it on camera. A tiny bit of purpley blue, but mostly that pink base is really coming through. That is, whew, it's brave, but it's beautiful. The next shade we have in this palette is called Game Over, and this is a bright fire truck red matte shade. Kind of got a hint of burnt orange in there, but it's mostly, I mean, it's pulling off more orange on the camera than it is in person. It's like a fire truck true red, and this shade is called Game Over. Let's swatch it. Reds are notoriously difficult to do. Oh wow, that's not bad. Let me just go over it. No more product, I'm just pushing the product into place. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. I think this is cruelty free as well. Let me double check. Yeah, it's cruelty free, which means it's a pressed pigment, which means it's got no, like those crushed beetles. It's got red 7 in, which I think is, yeah, red 7, red 4. Yeah, okay, so it's got no beetles in it. So actually for a red, that's not bad. Let me just apply a tiny bit more on camera with you. I'm literally just going over it a little bit, just because it's that red pigment. See, that builds up really nicely. That is a good red, like a matte red. Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. Cruelty free, so it can't be crushed beetles. It has to be pigments. That is a good, consistent red matte. Impressed by that. There will be staining on your eyelids because there is staining currently on my finger. That actually doesn't bother me too much. I don't mind staining because I can just put a concealer underneath my eyes, and if it stains my eyes underneath, then I'll just put concealer on the next day to cover up that redness. The next shade we have in here is this beautiful true orange, kind of tangerine orange, actually more of a true orange I'd say, and this is the shade Boss, and here we go. Ooh, hang on, let me just go over it again. Oh, that's pretty. Why is that? Okay, that's my fault. Sorry, I didn't swatch it properly. There we go. Beautiful. That's a beautiful true orange. That would go really, really well. So far, this is like the colour palette is all going together quite nicely. Very, very bright. I feel like now it's on my arm. I'm getting slightly intimidated, but I am loving these bright shades. They are going on really, really well. The next shade in the palette is this beautiful true yellow, and it is called Level Up. So when you're in a game and you level up, you get to a better level. I'm just trying to, I'm not being too, I'm not pushing too hard, but I'm just trying to coat my finger totally. There we go. Woo! Pretty. Okay, so this is the shade Level Up. I did think this would be like one of the sheerer colours, but that still has a lot of pigment to it. It's not focusing on my arm, it's focusing on my face. There we go. So it's still got a lot of pigment to it. A yellow like this is quite difficult to do because it's kind of got a white base in a sense. That I'm just going to put a little bit more on so you can see. It does layer really nicely though, to be fair. It does layer really nicely. That is a bright yellow, and it's very difficult to find a good bright yellow like this because they have a bright white base in order for them to be so yellow. It doesn't have any brownness to it, so this is a good yellow. This would be great for blending these shades out, I think. But exciting. That is a nice shade. Level Up was a little bit more dustier than the other shades, but I was half expecting that because it's a yellow and they are a little bit more difficult to formulate that bright. So it's a little bit dustier than the other shades. There might be a little bit more kickback, but again, it doesn't really bother me. Hopefully it performs well on the eyes. So the last shade we have here is called Glitch. This shade is a little bit powdery, so as I'm picking it up on my finger, there's quite a bit of kickback in the pan. That might not happen with a brush, but it's just happening on my finger. And then this is the shade Glitch. Yeah, these two bright shades, because they're so bright, they are a little bit sheer. I'm just going to build up the colour a little bit, very, very gently. There we go. Okay, so just because they're bright, they probably will take a lot of building up, but maybe that's a nice thing. Again, they might perform completely differently on the eyes, and swatching, they may be completely different in comparison. So, you know, I can kind of see it goes full pigment, and then these two are a little bit sheerer, but they're not sheer, they're just bright, so it's difficult to create a really full pigment base with that. But yeah, I'm really excited to try this out. Let's wipe all these off and let's do something on my eyes with these colours. It's so bright, but I'm kind of living for it. Now I'm just patting out that concealer that I did have on my eyes before I started the video, just to act as a bit of a base, but I'm not applying any primer or anything on them. I just want to see these shadows for what they are. Oh wow. I'm going to go into the shade Level Up, the bright yellow, and I'm going to apply this throughout my crease. Okay, yeah, that is quite dusty on the brush. I'm just going to apply this on the lid and in the crease. Oh yeah, it's much brighter than I thought it was going to be on lid, to be fair. I'm just going to apply a tad, just a tad on the lower lash line, not too much. But I'm going to take a flat shader brush and go into the shade Game Over, which is that fire truck red. And I'm going to take this on a flat shader, but just like on the tip, so I can control it nicely. And just start tapping that into the inner corner, like that first inner portion. I'm going to just do the same on the other side before we continue, because I think I want to use the same brush for all of the colours and I don't want to keep cleaning it off. So I'm just going to do this eye and replicate exactly the same, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done both the similar situation on both eyes. I'm now going to go into the shade Boss, this beautiful orange, repeat it, but like a little bit more, like more the centre of the eye. And let's just see how this goes. I'm going to try and keep tapping and kind of merge it into the red a little bit. Wow, this is a bright orange. This is very bright. Okay, this is not for the faint-hearted. I feel like a little bit like a parakeet or something. Okay, now that I have that situation going on, I'm going to go into the shade Level Up, the yellow again. I know we put it in the crease, but now I'm going to go in with the little packing brush that I have. And I'm going to pack this to intensify in the crease again. This might lose a little bit of definition, but hopefully it works out. I'm going to go back into the shade Game Over, the red, and just re-intensify and bring this shade into the orange a little bit more. And take a tiny bit of the orange and blend it into the yellow. And then I'm going to take with the same brush a tiny bit of the yellow and blend it into the orange. I'm going to take the pink shade, which is Easter Egg. This, oh god, this, what am I doing? This fuchsia pink metallic shade and a little flared brush. And I'm going to work this in the inner first like quarter or inner third of my eye. Let's see what this is like dry before I start wetting it. Ooh. Okay, it's pretty dry, like, oh, you can't really see it on camera. It's pretty. Okay, with a finger, it's there, okay? So we'll have to do a finger and then blend out with a brush. That's not a problem. Some shades just work a little bit better with other tools. I'm then going to take the shade Hologram, which is this beautiful orangey gold and yellow orangey goodness, and apply on the outer half of my eye, and hopefully I can mesh the two together. This would be an amazing topper, but I'm not getting that foiledness that I want, so I'm going to wet this as well. That's much better wet, like you can see the sheen in that. Okay, so I'm happy with like the colour placement. I think I want to re-intensify this red, kind of blend the orange a little bit more. I feel like it's a little bit blocky at the moment, especially in this area. So I'm going to do something about that in a minute, but as for now, the only shade I haven't been into at the moment is the shade Glitch, the neon green. And I think the only thing I want to do with this is maybe just smoke it on the lower lash line. So I want to do exactly that. It is quite kickbacky, this formula. I have noticed that with all of these neons. It's nice to place them, but as soon as you blend them, they do kind of blend away a little bit. But they do build nicely, so, you know, it swings and roundabouts, really. I'm just going to place this on the lower lash line. What does that look like? Does that look stupid? I don't know. I'm going to go back into the orange shade Boss. Just try and blend it into the red and yellow a bit more. And then I'm going to take the shade Easter Egg, the bright red, on the same brush and re-intensify that as well, because I feel like we've lost it a little bit with the pink. Then I'm just going to take this brush, this could be the be all and end all of it, and just very, very lightly go on the perimeter of this entire look. Okay, so that is using all of the shadows in this palette. I don't hate it, to be honest with you. I don't hate the look I've created. I feel like because I've had to use, well, I don't have to, but because I've wanted to use all the shades, it is quite a lot. I'm going to apply a black winged liner to this because I feel like at the moment it just needs something to bring this all together. So I'm going to go and apply a black winged liner, a very small baby one, just to kind of bring it together a little bit, because obviously we've got no outer corner or anything like that. We've got no inner corner highlight. It's quite like a reverse look, dark to light. So I just want to bring in that weightiness with a winged liner. So I'm just going to go off camera, do that, apply some mascara and some lashes. Everything I have on my face is down below anyway, so you'll know what it is down below. I'm going to do all of that, finish up with wing liner, lashes, a bit of mascara, and then I'll be right back. This is the final look. I actually quite like it. I actually quite like it indeed. I mean, it's vibrant. I look like a parakeet or a macaw. Select your bird of paradise of choice. Bird of paradise of choice, whatever you want. I actually quite like it. I like this palette. This is the first palette out of the 5 that I've tried so far that I have noticed a tiny bit of inconsistency. Mostly in the yellow and green. The red was full of pigment, did kind of fade a little bit when you blend into more of a bright pink. The orange is very, very there. The orange was brilliant. The shimmer shades were lovely. The green is very nice and limey, and I feel like it does blend out nicely. All the shades do blend lovely, and I don't want to criticise this palette at all. I think it was a very lovely, lovely palette. There was quite a lot of powdery kickback in some of these shades, but to be honest with you, I'm not surprised because it is a neon palette, and to achieve a neon palette it's not easy. But oh my goodness, I can't hold this. But I'm really, really impressed. I think this has created a really cool, vibrant neon sort of look, and I quite like it. I feel like I like it more in person than I do on camera. I'm really hoping it pulls off on camera the same it is in person, because in person it's just very bright and funky and playful, and it looks much more blended in real life than it does on camera, so I'm really hoping it's pulling off nicely. But I really, really enjoy this palette. I think it's lovely. I think this, for me, is definitely going to be an accompaniment, something that I accompany with another palette. It's going to be one of those palettes. It's not going to be something that I pull out to do one look with unless I want a bright neon look. It's a sort of palette, like I said, that I don't think I will be applying all over my lids just by itself, but I think I'll be dipping into this palette for neons because I do love a good neon every now and again, especially on the lower lash line and in a corner and as a little pop. I think this is a really good palette. So yeah, I'm really, really impressed, and I actually really like the look I've got. Let me just zoom you in one more time just so you can see. I love now that I've got the lashes and the winged liner. I just feel like the whole look has been brought together a little bit more nicely. It just looks a little bit more finished, I think, in my personal opinion. Everything just looks purposeful, and I really, really like it. I think this palette is really good, and they've done a great job at neons, which I know aren't the easiest things to do, especially with those yellows and greens. Not easy to do those colours, and they've done a pretty good job. I'm very impressed. So that is another point for Kaleidos. I'm just going to call it Kaleidos. It's another point for them because they've done really, really well. That is the 4th palette in a row that I've really enjoyed, and I'm happy that I've purchased it. I know that Kaleidos have recently just brought out another collection. It's the Escape Pod collection. I don't know whether I'm going to be purchasing it or not yet. It's probably sold out already, actually, now that I'm saying this, but I haven't actually had a look. I've seen what's in the collection, and I think the collection is really, really cool. Something that's totally my vibe. Maybe I'll buy that in the future. It's something that I really enjoy, and at the moment I've been really enjoying the formulation of Kaleidos cosmetics, so maybe it's something I'll purchase in the future if you're interested in my opinion on that. But it is a really cool collection. Anyway, really, really enjoyed this. I really, really enjoyed playing around with this cosmetic line. I've already got one more palette to go, so be sure to watch out for that one when I do film it and upload it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell because then you'll be notified of all the videos I upload. I upload every single week, and you wouldn't want to miss out on more content from me. No, you would not. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying calm and cool and collected, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.